First impressions count, and JDM Japanese Driftmaster starts strongly. This open world street racer set in Japan has real world cars, customization, a lengthy single player story, and a spectacular location. Fire up the teriyaki boys. Not so fast, mainly due to music copyright reasons, and also because Tokyo Drift keeps hold of its Japanese street racing mantle. This game isn't quite the complete, rounded experience we were expecting. You play Tomas Stanowski, or Toma for short, who's been ostracised from Europe on account of a revoked driving license. Arriving in the fictionalized location of Guntama, you must integrate into Japanese society and rise through the ranks of the local drift racing scene. But the narrative isn't the impressive opening, it's the environment that takes the lead role. Narrow roads littered with key cars, typical buildings and roadside bicycles, all rendered in Unreal Engine 5 glory. The cherry blossom pops in the afternoon sun, the quaint architecture glinting in the evening lighting, while thunder claps during a storm. The cars are modelled in the same exacting detail across 27 drivable examples, with a mix of real and fake, although the Yotsuhoshis are clearly Mitsubishis, and the Alfa Moriamo is a Toyota A86. Interiors are a particular highlight, accurately recreated and heavily customizable. Items such as wheel rims, seats and shifters can be changed, and all modifications can be viewed when racing through the streets. Your driver avatar, and any passengers depending on career levels, more on that later, is animated in the car, as is arm-over-arm opposite lock as you slew sideways through a corner, something some other open-world driving games struggle with. In the approachable and recommended for gamepad players arcade handling mode, simply aiming at a corner will see the rear of your car pivot into an easy-to-control drift, tyres billowing smoke. There is a simcade physics system too, and wheel support for the hardcore. The number of wheels natively supported is small, more are expected, and you can map custom inputs from most devices in our testing, albeit without much feedback. But it's resolutely not a drifting simulation, and it's perhaps best played kicking back with a controller. Chaining one hairpin to the next, exploring villages and smashing against the rev limiter in your entry-level coupe is joyous. The evocative settings, combined with the pretty visuals, pumping soundtrack and silky smooth drifts, deliver an endorphin rush tantamount to a child exploring a theme park. It all looks so exciting. Irresistibly clippable for TikTok, especially when using the wide-angle GoPro-style viewpoint, this is JDM Japanese Driftmaster at its best. However, if JDM would like to be taken seriously as a video game, as opposed to a social media clip factory, there needs to be depth beneath the pretty visuals, and as it stands right now, there isn't enough substance. It's like a Japanese restaurant adorned with paper lanterns, inscribed chopsticks, and then serving supermarket meal deal sushi. We'll start with the visuals, because outside of the pretty villages and onto the dedicated drift and race venues, there is detail poppin' like a PS2 era Grand Theft Auto game. At night, the traffic doesn't appear to have bright headlights, or is running on sidelights and can be difficult to spot. Still, we can forgive a bit of this, hoping for further optimization soon, but what is less acceptable is AI rival behaviour more mercurial than Taki Inui. If it's a side-by-side drift event, they drive slower than a Honda Jazz owner and score few points, each is a complete walkover. But then you'll turn up at the Tsukuba-aping Sugoya track, and they behave like they're slot cars, driving clean around the outside of you. Sadly, your opponents are incapable of delivering a close race. In one mission against some kind of American muscle car, it disappeared up the road, clearly using different physics to toboggan around turns. You can alter your car setup to a nerdy degree, but we think that for most casual players, a slider like Need for Speed Unbound between grip and drift settings would probably help here. Purchasing an all-wheel drive car just for these events is also an option, but outside of the track, they are recalcitrant to turn, as if the physics are designed solely with rear-wheel drive in mind. You can, however, rather neatly modify an all-wheel drive into a rear-wheel drive though. The road traffic is also odd, bumbling around the tight streets with aplomb, but then mostly absent from the larger urban areas, and they can only drive on the inside lane on the highways. The setting, cars and handling could be put to good use in these sections to rival Tokyo Extreme Racer or No Hesi, but as the freeway is barren, high-speed commutes are dull. Do you think this is an important aspect for a game of this type? Let us know in the comments below. Still, at least there is a true sense of progression, grinding away to earn enough cash for a new vehicle, but more often than not, performance-enhancing parts and lurid paint schemes. As the cars are so well modelled, engine sounds rorty and customization plentiful, you end up building a bond with your main vehicle of choice. As cash is relatively hard to come by, you will likely spend time with one model, gradually upgrading while saving up for something flashier like an NSX or a Skyline GTR. There's a car mastery system too, alongside your general XP generated driver rank that leans into this grind. The more you drive one car, the higher its level, and the more items you unlock to add to it. As a newcomer to the country, Toma meets a series of stereotypically glamorous women and men with pent-up aggression in a manga story that's about as deep as an episode of Homes Under the Hammer. Yet, as the pages flow, there is at least enough context to create your own sub-narrative as you compete in the challenges and tasks, wanting to succeed. Your tasks are pleasantly varied too. There are the aforementioned circuit races and side-by-side drift events, plus solo drift events, time and damage-based sushi delivery runs, or even challenges to impress a passenger. Frustratingly, however, points during these passenger events are only dished out for drifting. Other acts of heroism, such as reaching high speeds or driving close to traffic, don't count. Yet, you must also reach a destination before a set time. So, you inevitably end up swapping from one side of the road to another down a motorway, and it's a technique that seems to work for most missions, keeping your drift multiplier higher and, well, sapping the fun in the process. While there are different event types in the story, elsewhere in the world there are a handful of speed cameras, your garages, a training centre, and a place to complete solo time trials around the tracks. And that's it. No, really, that's it. Unlike something like Forza Horizon 5, there are no boards to smash, side events, online leaderboards, or hidden objects. There is a menu that states, percentage of collectibles found TBD, so presumably that's a feature to be added post-release. Information supplied to Traxion states that illegal racing, further sushi delivery, and difficulty levels are coming soon via an update, maybe in time for the release day, and on the map, there are 2 areas labelled as coming soon. It's strange, as essentially right now all there is to play is the linear central narrative, which somehow makes it feel anything but open world. Loading from one mission to the next, with some commuting in between, repeat. The world isn't populated enough by NPCs or side challenges to truly feel alive. Then we come back to the environment, as while you can knock over parked scooters, parked cars are cemented to the ground. Sometimes you can drift through small fences, but then right on an apex, you'll hit an immovable barrier. Bushes are driven through with zero animation. This is a far cry from something like the Crew Motorfest's destructibility, if you were to make a comparison. Perhaps understandable for a contemporary driving game with licensed road cars set around public streets, there is no car damage, but there aren't even light visual scrapes. When it rains, commendably there is a full day to night cycle and dynamic weather, no water hits the windscreen. The rearview mirror isn't functional, a photo mode and replays are other notable absentees. Even the GPS system to navigate between events is hopeless, something that also befell Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown at launch. Sometimes you hit an invisible wall. Aside from the vibrant setting, car models, and easy drifting mechanics, the rest simply lacks polish. And now that I've really put a downer on things, it feels like the perfect time to remind you that you can subscribe to this Traxion channel for more racing game reviews in future. You can tell that a dedicated team of hard-working individuals had a cool idea and have worked hard to try and pull it off. Kudos to Creators Gaming Factory for creating something so enticing, but the final JDM Japanese Driftmaster release falters after the first hour. If we rewind the clock to summer last year, it released a free prologue, which has since been deleted from Steam forever. This bite-sized taster, called Rise of the Scorpion, with only part of the map, was promising. Now, it seems the full game hasn't taken the necessary steps to entertain throughout the full 15 to 20 hour experience. JDM is not an early access release, but if there are some AI and visual optimizations, further side quests added, and possible console versions created, all of which are promised by the way, then we'll happily reassess. But for now, it's a 6 out of 10. JDM Japanese Driftmaster releases for PC on the 21st of May via Steam, GOG, and Epic Games Store. A final price was not yet available at the time of making this review, although a third-party key site lists it somewhere between $20 and $30. We'll update the video description if that changes upon release, and do keep an eye on the Traxion website as always for a full car list and news stories about the expected patches. Let us know down in the comments below your thoughts on JDM Japanese Driftmaster, and don't forget to leave us a like if you've enjoyed this review and subscribe for more in the future. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.